Intensive Serum is one of my favourite products. It's so effective for dry, mature, sensitive skin. I use it at night. It is quite gloopy, so night application is best unless your skin is exceptionally dry. It takes a little while to go into your skin, but once it's there, oh my goodness, I guarantee you put it on your face, the next morning you will be stroking your skin. Oh my goodness, it's so soft. Unless that's just me. When I first brought out Intensive Serum, that was back in the real early days of Maldon soap, and I've kind of rebranded a couple of times and changed fonts and things. And I used to do Harrington. I used to have Harrington font, which is very sort of italic-y, and look it up on your computer. And I had a customer come in and go, "What's Intensive Scrum?" And I was like, don't know, it sounds like a really good match at the Six Nations if you ask me. But because it was like an E with a line across the, like, Intensive Serum, obviously she thought it said Intensive Scrum. It'd probably be quite good in a scrum, especially if you put a lot on, because everybody would just slide off. But here's how I apply it, and how I use it. I always tone my skin before, like after cleansing, just to rehydrate. You don't have to use it on wet skin. It's just that my skin was feeling, I've just got out of the shower and I've just I'm doing product making videos today, so I've just put curl cream in my hair, so I've got lovely curls now. I've just tied them back. Just while I show you how to do this, but I haven't actually moisturised my face, and it feels a little bit fire's going and it feels a little bit tight. You don't need a lot of serum. I say this for all my products, you don't need a lot. A little goes a really long way. I'm just going to use the bit that's stuck in the lid. That is enough to do your face and probably a bit of your neck and décolletage as well, because I always suggest starting from the bottom and working up to defy gravity. I work it through my fingers a little bit. Sometimes, just occasionally, the serum, you might feel a couple of little gritty bits. And what that is, because I don't use artificial stabilizers in any of my products, to make the oils into something else. The oils are just themselves, and the waxes that I use sometimes crystallize a little bit, especially if the product's made on a cold day. And sometimes you get little tiny gritty bits. All you have to do is just rub them in your hands just a couple of times, and they will disperse and melt along with the rest of the product. It's a little bit like when it's cold and your honey goes crystally. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's just gone a little bit crystally where the beeswax has settled. Obviously I don't use beeswax in the products, but the waxes I use will do the same thing. So yeah, I use it. I mean, obviously I've got a t-shirt on. I would use this, I would use it sort of right across my shoulders, my décolletage, up through my neck. Always work upwards, because gravity will work downwards, and we don't want that, not till we have to succumb to it. And then basically just with it on your hands, just work upwards across your mouth, up again, along the jawline. The jawline here gets very congested If you get spots along your jawline, it's usually hormone related, and so it's a really good idea to sort of just with your knucklies here, just to give that little bit of a lift, because you've got lymph channels very close to here, so it helps them to kind of drain away. And then just work around your nose, around the eye. You can use it on your eye area. I tend to get a tinsy bit more, and just with ring fingers, just dab. You don't want to be rubbing it around your eyes, but you can just dab a little bit, so it's kind of barely there. And then just a bit across your forehead, just smooth it out, just work it along. You know, if you've got any lines on your forehead, just work it into those, and then just give it another sweep, just to make sure it's all in. And bingo, all done. It doesn't take long at all. It works while you sleep. Just a suggestion, if you have got long hair and you're a messy sleeper, you know, I do sometimes leave my hair tied back, just so that I don't get my hair all over my face, because for a little while it does feel quite sticky. It is a blend of beautiful oils, rosehip oil, jojoba oil, evening primrose oil, organic shea butter. Everything's organic, obviously. Shea butter, plus the essential oils that I put in there, which is like rosemary, patchouli, geranium, frankincense and palmarosa. And it will take probably 10 or 15 minutes to sink in. What I tend to do is if I've had a shower late, or if I like cleanse my face, and I sort of put this on sort of while I'm watching the telly, so that it's got a chance to sink in a bit before I actually go to sleep. But if I do happen to put it on just before I go to bed, then I just tie my hair back so that it doesn't stick to my face. But that's it. Intensive Serum is fantastic. I will link all the links to it. Link the links. I will put the link to the product below, and you can read a lot more about it on the website, and there's more in the blurb about it. But it's just fantastic. Rosehip oil is so good for your skin, and that is the main ingredient in this. And yeah, it's just a bit lovely.